Okay, hello and welcome. I've had a few issues with this guitar, so I'm going to remove the scratch plate screws, and all the pickups and switches are attached to the scratch plate. There's the factory sticker, and there is the array of switches for each pickup, which go to the tone selector switches. There's some vintage Russian caps there. And there are three individual volume knobs for the pickups and one master volume. And that leads out to a mono jack. These were initially fitted with a kind of stereo jack, or it would enable power for onboard effects on some of these models. Now, I've had a bit of trouble with these switches before, and there's one there. It's over-engineered, I would say, that whole mechanism. Remove the shaft there, and the switches just drop out. They have a kind of cam on them, which depresses that rather weak spring there onto micro switches. This one in the middle was playing up a little. There's only very little movement in it. I'm going to have a go at removing that. Okay, so I've drilled out the rivets there that were holding these switches in. I didn't damage anything. The top came off that one quite easily. It seems to be working fine. So I'm just going to tweak those springs again. Whilst we're here, we'll have a look at these pickups. They've got fixed height on the scratch plates, so there's no adjustments can be made there. We'll just pop off the top and see what's underneath. I'm not expecting too much, and that looks pretty utilitarian to me. Nothing fancy there at all, but they work. It's got a Fender Jaguar style tremolo there. It's a floating tremolo with an adjustment spring. Now, I haven't seen this kind of bridge before, although it does a good job for setting up the intonation. The string guides appear to be fret pieces. That's all they are, so easy to replace if you lose them. Now, I wanted to see if there was a truss rod here. There was a cover plate, so I removed the cover plate, and right enough, it does appear to be a truss rod. I had a lot of bother getting that screw out. And as you can see, it's very worn, and I couldn't tighten it anymore, so I purchased a cheap 5mm replacement truss nut and installed that. I don't think these tuners are original. Most of these Russian guitars seem to have open gear tuners. Now, I can assure you that this guitar neck was completely unplayable when I got it. It was a complete U-shape. I've sanded it down, and it's certainly more playable now. Now, this is as far as I can lower the strings. The bridge won't go any lower, so I'm going to put a shim in. I've used oak here and a belt sander. Anything over a millimetre at the thickest end will probably be too much. Well, that shim helped me set up the neck a bit better, and I have got some movement on the bridge now. There are some buzzing strings past the 12th fret. They probably could do with being dressed. Now, that isn't the original tremolo arm there. I've used a cheap Strat style tremolo. I think I had to recut the thread on it, but I can't remember what size that was. Now, for more information, Cheesy Guitars have a lot of info on the old Eastern Bloc guitars that were made in the 70s and 80s, and Reverb.com too have a pretty comprehensive list of the Soviet guitars from the 80s. Since making this video, I've started to enjoy playing this guitar a little more, so I hope I've given you some idea of what you're going to get. And thanks very much for watching again, and I'll see you next time.